Hello folks, welcome to the LAN Tamer stream. Hopefully our stream will stay up tonight, although I just got this pop-up, a new version of OBS. Interesting, yeah, I heard about that. But yeah, hopefully it'll work. I apologize last night. You didn't miss much at the end of the stream. I think about 4 minutes were cut off. And no labs, just a vlog, as is going to be the case tonight, unfortunately. And I'm going to get into that, but we're still talking about QoS. Reviewing the QoS Exam Guide book, Policing and Shaping is what we're working on. That review is going well. I finished congestion management, which is great. Man, this was such a good chapter to review. It's really helping me understand so much more in depth than I had before. I feel much more confident going ahead and starting this new chapter, which I've started today. Chapter 6 is about traffic policing and shaping. Now, there's another possible resource also that came up through someone on Twitter, because I posted about it on Twitter, and I'll actually bring up I think it's called QoS End-to-End. So someone was kind enough to respond to tweet and say, hey, have you checked out this book? So we're going to check that out now. Supposedly it's on Safari Books Online. So let's just see here. And I don't know if anyone in the chat or our Discord server has used this book before. We'll just look at the table of contents. What I don't want is, like, I'll give you an example. I read the book MPLS Enabled Applications, or I started to read that. That was on actually Brian McGann's list of books to read. And I got into that and I was like, whoa, this looks like it's way beyond the CCIE. And I think even looking at it today that it is. MPLS enabled applications, and they were very difficult to read. For me anyway. It may be great for some other people. I actually purchased it outright on Amazon, Kindle version. But QoS End-to-End. Actually, I need to go Safari homepage. Yeah, End-to-End. The search tool on Safari is not the best. Like, match a book as you type it, and then you have to hit search for it to come up. And this happened more than once where it just kind of So one review, 2013. So it's a newer book. And I just want to see, like, the table of contents here. Already I'm like, QoE, what? Okay, classification, marking, policing, shaping, and markdown tools. Congestion management and avoidance tools. Interesting. So again, everyone does the order here a little differently. And I think what I've concluded is that it's hard to learn QoS chunk by chunk and start labbing it, right? It's almost like you need to learn all the tools and principles, how they work together before you can even begin to lab. I learned them to an extent, but not to the depth that I need to do labs. And that, of course, is why I'm going over the material again. So it looks interesting. I'll have to do a little bit of comparison. This is interesting, QoS and IPv6 networks. This seems really, okay, application visibility control. Oh, there's two parts. One is design overview. Interesting. This gets into like CCDP stuff, it looks like to me, or CCDE. QoS design strategies, campus QoS design, 3750, 4500, 6500. It doesn't have 9000 series, that wasn't out then. Wireless LAN QoS design. Oh, wow. So this is going beyond CCI routing and switching. So I may not use it unless I get stuck. I appreciate the reference. So if I get stuck in the book I'm in, or there's a chapter that doesn't explain something particularly well, I know I have another good in-depth resource. And there's probably some questions in here. I don't think I would ever go past the overview section, just because this is like CCDE, this is campus, that might be some CCIE routing and switching. But these are very product specific. Wireless, that's CCWE. I don't know if that's the right acronym. CCIE Data Center, CCIE DS, I don't know, DC, Data Center. And then WAN and branch. Yeah, so MPLS QoS design, IPsec QoS design. Man, this is, there's a lot of nice appendices here. They say appendixes. Is that now the correct way to write? When I was in school, it was appendices. Anyway, I digress. So I'm on chapter 6. I have another reference as a resource from the community. And I thought I'd be able to do a lab tonight. In fact, I started this morning, my morning study session. I'm like, you know what? I finished that chapter. I'm going to fire up the INE workbook. And I get to the first CBWFQ lab. And the first instruction, it says, set up shaping. Disappointment. I'm like, okay. Apparently, I'm going to have to get through this whole book before I can even start another lab, which is fine. A little frustrating, I guess. Again, there's so much, and again, no one's going to hand it to you. No one's going to hand the CCIE certificate to you, right? I mean, you got to work for it. I don't want to sound entitled here, you know, but man, it would be nice if there was. Old Man Noob, how are you? I like the name, Old Man Noob. How are you this evening? Hopefully well. Yeah, I would like, I guess, a little more of materials, and yeah, good to know, Old Man Noob. Again, it just seemed that there's very scattershot materials out there. No one really has it put together in such a way that a student could just, like myself, could just go beginning to end and have everything they need, in particular with this section of the blueprint. So anyway, we're gonna struggle through. We're gonna get where we can. But I am going to continue with my plan. So of course I don't stream Friday nights. So I will stream some this weekend. And again, as I mentioned before, I don't know if this came through on last night's stream because it OBS crashed. But I plan to do, I was talking to fellow student here, Show IP Interface Brief is his moniker, aka Tony E. And he had a really good suggestion. We had a session, a study session Saturday together where we spent about an hour and a half. It was Sunday, just talking about QoS together, where we're at. We reviewed some of the technologies together. And at the end, he's like, you know, I've got a great suggestion for you. He's farther along than I am. He has his lab date April 2nd. He's like, you know what I recommend, Quentin, is that you, on the weekends, or at least pick one day, where, you know, you do some of the bigger labs. Because what happens is, for example, I've been picking a month as kind of what I'm on pace for each of these sections. So last month, it was IPv6. Well, February is about to be IPv6 and some QoS, right? The month prior was multicast. But now that it's been about, you know, over a month since I've really touched anything in a lab for multicast, in the meantime, that information can dissipate, right? Or I should say not dissipate, but it can start to dissolve a little bit in your mind. I have been doing flashcards, and flashcards is a good sort of memorization technique. But what I want to do to remedy that is continue, you know, with the workbook, like on weeknights, going through topic by topic, advancing on new information or new material, not completely new, but new labbing material. and on the weekends work on the big labs where I'm putting all those technologies together. So what I plan to do this weekend is I'm going to start hopefully Saturday on in the INE workbook. And anyone who has the workbook knows that at the, it covers by topic. Let me pull it up. I'll just go ahead and pull up and review that again, because I don't think this made it on the stream last night. Another thing too was strange is this morning I went into the workbook checklist, and all these boxes were blank. And every time I clicked on a lab, it took me back to the login screen. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're doing some updates to the site, but anyway, they have these by topics, right? So MPLS, IPsec VPN, multicast, IPv6, QoS, where I'm at now, right? But at the end, they have putting it all together. So there's foundation labs, and the foundation labs are going to cover the vast majority of the topics, right? It's working towards what you might see on a real lab. Sorry, I just got here, but did you check the CCIE QoS book? CCIP? Yes, I did. I actually pulled it up and looked through the contents, and it looks very in-depth. It looks more in-depth than what I need, to be honest. But I may use it as a reference, or if I get stuck in this book. So I appreciate having that reference. Yeah, I got about a third through it. Yeah, so what it looks like to me is really geared towards maybe the CCDE. I don't know how in-depth they go in QoS and the CCDE track, but there's a lot of design stuff in there. They have design for wireless, design for campus networks, design for MPLS networks. So it looks like a great book, and it is QoS end-to-end is a title. And that's the idea, right? With QoS, you really need end-to-end to be really successful. But it looks way beyond what I might need at the time, with the caveat that if I get stuck in this book, I know where to go. So I'm glad to have the reference. Really glad to have it. So yeah, these foundation labs are going to hit all the topics, and there's a foundation labs, there's a troubleshooting labs section, advanced troubleshooting. Then there's full-scale labs, and like Tony was telling me, like some of these are going to take you won't even finish in a day until you get faster. But this is going to be putting all the technologies together, and is going to help keep fresh what I've learned in previous months, right? And so I think that's a great idea, great suggestion, and I really appreciate it. So I'm going to start putting that into practice this weekend. Old Man Noom says between that and the OECG, that would probably be more than enough. Yeah, I would think so, for sure. And again, with any new subject for me, I say new, like I say, I studied all of QoS in the network lessons material prior to the written. But I'm new to labbing it. So, when I'm learning something, essentially when I feel like I get it, that's when I start to kind of move on. Like the chapter I just finished, which is congestion avoidance, or congestion management, sorry. It got really deep. For example, when it was talking about WFQ. WFQ can be complex. It is for sure. So I would get to a certain depth and like, okay, that's good. I don't need to, I'm much better at recognizing when I'm at the entrance, like of the rabbit hole, and I need to just stop digging right there, right? So I'm getting better at that than I used to be. Still get distracted sometimes. It's all about balance, right? So anyway, that's what we're going to do Saturday. So the next stream, you'll definitely be seeing labs. Will not necessarily be QoS. In fact, those foundation labs list topics, and they kind of go like layer 2 and layer 3 routing, and I do VP, MPLS, IPv6. So I'll just do what I can until I get to the sections that are not yet covered in the workbook. But that's going to cumulatively over the weekends, that's going to get me into that mode that I need to be in for the real lab, especially the configuration part of the lab, right? Yes, again, apologies for the stream issues. I have some meat chunks. I don't know what I'm going to do, folks. It's been running fine tonight. I don't know what happened yesterday. I don't know. Hopefully this PC, I've had this PC now for over 3 years, this Mac. And for a Mac, this thing, if I want to, I still have a laptop that, like an old laptop, it's slow. But yeah, hopefully it'll hold on for a while. I hope it's not PC issues. I haven't had to do a rebuild of Mac OS. I did it once. It was only troubleshooting because I thought it might be, I don't remember what the exact issue ended up being, but I think it was other issues. I'd had lightning or power. Anyway, yeah, and that's the cool thing. Like, once you link your operating system to iCloud and you sync with iCloud, like this build that I'm running off of is from like my profile and my apps. Some of these are from a previous machine that I had. Let's see, when did I first get that computer? 2013 maybe was my first like Mac that I owned. No, that's not the first Mac that I owned. The first Mac since iCloud came out. And basically what I'll do, like if let's say tomorrow I bought a new Mac, I would shut this one down. I would pull up the new Mac, sync with iCloud, and then of course I would have done a backup, a full backup. But essentially you log into iCloud, you get access to your apps, all your documents, everything else, man. It's just so smooth. Mark Milo, hey Mark Milo, Windows has the rebuilt feature already embedded in their automatic updates. No need for user intervention. No need for agreement, LOL. I will say Windows has come a long way. My work machine is Windows 10, and I've been very impressed so far. Especially the fact that like I run Windows subsystem for Linux. So I have a little icon down on my toolbar or my taskbar. I forget what it's called. It's not as cool as this, but I can basically click. There's a little Ubuntu like icon, so I click on that and boom, I'm in. I mean, it's almost like running a command window, and I'm running the bash shell. So I really love that. Never had a crash myself from the updates, but have read plenty of forest stories. I, my friend, have years of experience with Windows operating system, including desktop support, server support, Active Directory administrator, server administrator, VB scripting. I've got some horror stories for you, but like I said, I've been very impressed, getting much better. A couple of meat chunks to send with you, share with you folks, and then I'm going to be on my way, and I'm going to start hitting this chapter. One is a post I got in an email from the Cisco Champions distribution list. And you see these every year, but one, this serves as a reminder. One, Cisco Live 2019 is coming, and it's less than 4 months away. So, you know, you need to be thinking about if you're going hotels, accommodation, etc., flights. I just learned today, actually, I got written okay to go, that the company is going to send me. So super stoked about that. I was planning to go either way, whether I paid or they paid. It's an important conference. Even if you don't go to one session, the networking alone is super important, I think. So anyway, I at least have that okay, and I will be looking to possibly, you know, I want to do good by the company. Like, I think it would make a good case for me to try to help save money. Last year, you know, I live, I don't know, like 35, 40 minutes from where Cisco Live was held here in the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando. So I was able to save travel costs for the company. This year, San Diego is bigger expense, but what I want to do is find other people in my company that are going, and also, and or see who in our Discord or in Router Gods would want to do Airbnb, right? Does a page prior as to what Cisco Live is all about? Heard a lot about it, but don't understand the drawer benefits. Well, that, Mark Milo, is actually that's a good link because it tells you like 10 tips for Cisco Live. Also in our Discord, I pull this up again because we have a channel in there dedicated to Cisco Live, and anything you want to know, just ping us in there. We'll have it. I've been once. The benefits, besides what you mentioned, just being regarding being able to network. So, all right, yeah, check out Discord channel. And what I will say is, for Cisco Live, beyond networking, to me, that's the biggest thing. Like, you can meet people who, there's a lot of people you can meet in person that are authors that are popular on social media in terms of their content, their technical content. But then people get to know what your specialty is or what you are working on, what you might know. You might meet potential study partners, potential future business partners, potential future managers or employers, That to me is the biggest reason to go. The second biggest reason to go for me is what they call WISP, which is the walk-in self-paced labs. So on the show floor, what they call World of Solutions, they have a huge area where they have vendors and they give away, like the last day, I think they have Bloody Marys and, all kinds of treats and snacks and giveaways and, freebies and all that kind of stuff. But besides all that, Cisco has like more than half of that show floor. And part of that is DevNet, which is awesome. I plan to spend more time than I did last year in DevNet. But that's where you can do so much hands-on, just walk up, hands-on labs on just about any sort of thing, DevNet that you want to do related to programmability and automation and things like that. Another big section is the WISP, and what the WISP is you can do actual labs, walk-in self-paced labs. Yeah, so you book, depending on how busy they are, and they do get busy. Sometimes there's a line, but you walk in, and usually don't have to wait too long. But what they have in WISP is they have not the same material that's in the exam, but they have mock-up. They might have material that is no longer in the CCIE routing and switching lab. Like it might be older material, but the software that they use in the lab, the router software, the router images, the materials, they will basically give you a taste of the real lab. All three sections. So you can do for example, yeah, well, man, it is awesome. I mean, that to me, I spent a good bit of time there last time. Like, so, in the CCI routing and switching lab, yes, very good way to prepare and help you prepare for like that initial shock of when you sit down and do, for example, the diag section. The diag section, which is 30 minutes, I had no idea. People would tell me what it's about, but they will actually give you a diag lab at WISP. And it's pretty interesting how that particular section works, right? Essentially what they do is they slam you with information. They give you a trouble ticket. And they want to know, what is the most likely cause of the problem? Select 2 of 4, right? Or, okay, what is probably the best solution? Select of these options which you think is the best solution to this trouble ticket. But in the trouble ticket information will be emails, diagrams, screenshots. They just flood you with information. Most of it is extemporaneous, or should I say, extraneous. It has nothing to do, it's just designed to, the idea is how quickly can you diagnose what the issue is and, what the problem is. So it's really cool. But now that I've seen that, I know kind of what to expect in the real lab. They also have a T-shoot exam and they have a configuration exam. And I think usually they're designed to be sort of half of what the real thing is like. But like I said, again, the actual testing software and the answer, they give you answers too. That's the thing. So you can do the configuration. This you don't get in the real lab. In the real lab, you get a score at the end, right? That's it, more or less. In this, they give you like a real taste of what the configuration section is, but at the end, they show you what they were expecting to see, right? The right answer. So, I don't know, it just really helps you prepare in a big way. And I think a lot of these are actually available as part of the Cisco, what used to be Cisco 360 or Cisco expert level training. So you can get that experience at home. Like you can purchase those as part of packages, right? They also have the assessments. I don't know if the assessments are at WISP. I don't know if they are or not, but regardless, the thing is you can take them as often as you want. And those are not free. Those Cisco expert training packages are not cheap. Let's see, Mark Milo says, I use both on t-shirts for that exact reason, as it gave you a taste of what the exam will be like. Helped a lot. Yes. So it's like that. I think they also have like CCNP level, CCNA. They also have a lot of labs to do with, like, if you just want to play with Viptela, for example, you can go into WISP and they'll have a lab for Viptela and help you build, which they have a lot of that stuff in DevNet now, but I think this even goes beyond that. So they're basically kind of opening up the box for people to use. If you came to Cisco Live, they're gonna. So that's a big reason for me to go. I also did a series on Cisco Live YouTube video series. If you want to see, like, if you're still undecided, you're not sure if it's worth it, or if you want to even ask your company to send you, let me see if I can find a link to that playlist. I did a first-time attenders Cisco Live kind of video series. And the reason I bring this up is I just remembered it because this vlog was starting to sound like one of those videos. And I forgot I even had this playlist. I've got 452 videos right now. Jeez. All right, so I'll put the link here. Yeah, Cisco Live First Timer Experience is the... Yeah, so this is it. If you're interested in certain aspects. Mark Mila, law, my company would never send me anywhere else. I think that's probably the best way to leave it, since this is a public recording. Yeah, we'll leave it there. No problem, man. No problem. So yeah, that is if you're interested. Or one thing I mentioned in here is the potential benefit of going yourself, paying your own way. Like I said, I was prepared to do that this year. If my company didn't sponsor it, this will only be my second Cisco Live, right? But if they didn't sponsor it, then I would plan to buy I think it's $690 during early registration. And early registration ends March 18th, I think. It's March 18th. So don't quote me on that. Go check the site. But it goes up after that date. And that gives you access to World of Solutions, including WISP, Walk-in Self-Paced Labs, Cisco DevNet. You don't get to attend the Cisco Live sessions, but all those are available for free like a week later Who knows, it might even be less now on the Cisco Live On Demand. So anyway, check those out. Check that if you want more information. I'd highly encourage people to go if you're in the networking industry, and for the reasons that are listed in that playlist. So anyway, that's one of the links. The other link I just saw on Twitter has to do with Wireshark 3.0 just came out, I think. And I wanted to see what the release notes are. Yeah, I would love to go to SharkFest one day also. So yeah, they have, wow, the site has changed. Okay, the current state with Wireshark 3.0. So I want to see the release notes if they have them. That's just a download. Well, here's 3.1.0. So this is like the not so, I don't want to say unstable version, but yeah, I want to see new. I want to see what came out with 3.0. Let's just upgrade it real quick. It might say, and it's still downloading. It sometimes you go help about and it might say, but Wireshark. I mean 3.0, that I would assume is a major release. So I would hope that there'd be like cool razzle dazzle new features, right? Let's just see real quick. Yeah, something, yeah, I got a feeling, you know, I get a feeling about your PC, like, and this PC has been used a lot, like it gets worked. This computer gets worked. Oh, read me first. Okay, fine. Oh, can you install it with Homebrew? I guess you can. Oh wow, there's a lot a lot to read there. I agree, yes. Okay. I mean, we might not. We'll see how long it takes. It may not take that long. Yep, it's quick. Yeah, sometimes it'll pop up like the new. Help contents. Just took me 3.1.0. Yeah, usually they will have release notes. Let's see, Wireshark. Oh, here we go. I just had to search on. There it is. All right, in case you want to check it out. I'm going to put the release notes there. I'm also going to put it in Discord. Okay, let's take a look. Many user interface improvements have been made. See the new and updated features section below. The following features are new. Okay, this is the IP map feature. Okay. Since 2.9.0, okay. Wireshark now supports these languages. The build system now, the Windows installers. Wow, it's not really much there, huh? Wireshark now supports the Swedish and Ukrainian languages. A bug fix. Okay, huh? Not too much there, I guess. Data following a TCP U0 when a probe is marked as retransmission. Lua error on startup. Okay. Well, sorry, folks, not much to really report there. But we've upgraded, so that's going to wrap it up for tonight, folks. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Hope you have a great Thursday. And hey, it's Friday Eve, so tomorrow's Friday. Have a great Friday. And we'll see you on Saturday. We'll do some labbing. We'll do some Layer 2, Layer 3, VPN, who knows what else. And we'll see you then. Hey, take care and study on, good sir. Same too. Yes, thanks, folks. Always good to see folks in the chat. You can follow me here on Twitter. Well, here on, of course, Twitch. And if you have a Amazon Prime account, you get one free Twitch Prime account that you renew once a month. So feel free to use it here if you'd like. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Thanks so much for stopping in. We'll see you this weekend. And let's do some labbing then, eh? See y'all then.